This isn't the real Caesar's Palace, is it?
What do you mean?
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
I went to Vegas last weekend. Pretty crazy.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Gentlemen, welcome to Las Vegas.
Why don't you give me half the money you were going to bet? Then we'll go out back, I'll kick you in the nuts, and we'll call it a day.
Some guys just can't handle Vegas.
Well, a good evening to everybody. How's it going? My name is Jeff, and this is a fun little live cast. Another one, second one for today. Starting to think this is getting a little excessive. Welcome to it. My name is Jeff. I'm the host of the Jeff Does Vegas podcast, which is released on a somewhat regular basis. Usually every 7 to 10 days, put out a brand new episode. Thanks to everybody that's been taking the time to jump on and listen to the podcast, and I really do appreciate everybody that's been enjoying it. All the feedback that's been coming in, very positive. All of the tweets, the follows. It's been a fun little experience doing this podcast, I have to say. So thank you to everybody that's been doing it, taking a listen, and of course, thanks to everybody who's been taking the time to watch these little live videos as well. Maybe not necessarily when they're happening live, but as they are posted onto YouTube. Thanks to everybody that's been taking the time to get involved in those. I just wanted to jump on and chat a little bit about a couple of different things. I really wish I could get that glare. Oh man, I never thought that I'd be worried about lighting for a podcast. I didn't really think that was a thing. But lo and behold, here it is. I'm worried about lighting for a podcast. So anyways, I'm going to do my best to try to get that kind of all sorted out and figured out for everyone. Had a fun little experience earlier today. I was lucky enough to chat with the senior director of content for the Mob Museum, which is always one of my go-tos whenever I go to Las Vegas. It's one of the places that I absolutely want to see. It's one of the places that I will absolutely 100% direct people to go to. It's always one of my favorite go-to spots. So I had a gentleman on by the name of Jeff Schumacher, who, as I say, is the senior director of content for the Mob Museum. And we had a great chat. We had an awesome interview. We had a fantastic interview. Things were just so good, and I was so happy with the way everything was going. And we talked for like, oh God, probably like an hour. And we talked about everything. We talked about mob history in Las Vegas and some of the common misconceptions about the mob in Las Vegas. And we talked about the museum itself and some of the very, very cool stuff that the museum has. And so we finished our conversation, and everything was lovely. It just went absolutely swimmingly, or so I thought. I'm going to try. Bear with me for just a couple of seconds here. I wish I'd had this ready to go earlier. And I mean, it's not like I, was not planning on going live or anything. I thought, you know what, I got to share this with you. I want to share. Let me see if I can find the file. This was so annoying. So as I say, you do these things, everything seems wonderful. Everything sounds great. You think, you know what, this is going to be awesome. It's great. It's going to be excellent. Everything's going to be wonderful. And then you listen back, and this is taking a couple of seconds to load. I apologize for anybody that's actually taking the time to watch this. Anyway, you do everything. You think you've done everything right. And then you listen back to it, and it sounds like this. I hope this works. I hope you could hear that. Let me see if I can fix it so you can hear it a little bit better, because this was a thing that happened to me. I'm just going to change this here. Here we go. This should work. Yeah, let's do that. Just clicking on some things. This is riveting stuff. I mean, let's be honest. There's people that watch way dumber things than this on the on YouTube. Okay, let's see. Hopefully this worked. So yeah, so you take all this time, you do all this preparation, you get everything in, and then it sounds like this. Yeah. Ask me how happy I was about that when all was said and done. I invested in some gear. I bought the Rodecaster Pro, which is a not a toy, it's a legit podcasting tool. And so they just recently did a little update to the software, to the firmware on this thing. And I just used this to record interviews. Just recently, I did interview with Lauren Wolf from killresortfees.com. That is in the next episode of the podcast. That's going to be the next episode number 21. And so I used it to record that, and it was fine. And so yeah, so then this this bullshit happened. And I got off the Skype with Jeff from the Mob Museum. And I always like to listen back to things after I record them. And a lot of times I'm really jazzed and I'm like, yeah, I want to do the editing. I want to get everything all put together. And so I listened back, and that was what it sounded like. And I was so mad. Oh my God. I was seething. And, here's the thing. I'm sure that if I really wanted to, I could message Jeff and go, hey, you know what? I had a tech issue, didn't realize it till we finished recording. And lo and behold, this is what's happened. Would you be cool with re-recording? But here's the thing. My interviews, and if you're a long enough listener to the podcast, you know this. My interviews tend to be pretty easy breezy. They're conversations. They're not interviews. They're not talks. They're not, a structured interview like what you would get a lot of other podcasters or a lot of other broadcasters. I don't like that. I like to, I always used to say when I worked in radio that, and I would talk to my friends that would ask me about interviews and stuff. And I would always say, like, listen, if you ever hear me doing an interview with somebody, and I ask, what's your musical influences or whatever? That really honestly just means I don't give a shit about what you're talking to me about. So I always have tried to have conversations and just have chats with people and really, I like to get to know them. I like to talk to them. I like to, I just like to chat. I don't like to have I like to share conversations. I don't like to do an interview. And so there was a lot of stuff that just kind of naturally and organically happened in this interview. And frankly, I'm never going to get that. If I get a hold of Jeff and I say, hey, like, this happened, I would, any chance that we could reschedule and talk again. I don't want to do that. So luckily, it's only my side of the conversation that is completely and utterly pooched. So as such, I'm going to be spending a lot of time doing the edit for episode number 22 of the podcast, which is the Mob Museum episode of the show. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the episode. I'm not looking forward to all the editing that I'm going to have to do with this particular episode, but it's going to be fun. So I just wanted to share that with you. And say, like, listen, and this is especially a message for anybody that's thinking about starting a podcast or any new podcasters out there. Listen, stuff's gonna fuck up. I hate to drop the F-bomb. I'm not a big user of the F-bomb in my podcast. In fact, I don't think I've ever used the F-bomb in any of these podcasts. But in this case, it's I think it's warranted. And like I say, basically what I just want to say is stuff's going to go sideways. Things are going to go wrong. And you're just going to have to learn to roll with it. And if that's what you do, then hey, you know what? That's what you got to do. And that's what we had to do with this. And so lo and behold, that's what we're doing. So anyways, I just wanted to share that. I also wanted to talk about my Twitter today. This was one of those stupid things. And it's funny, I was having a discussion with somebody the other day about the podcast and about, Twitter and social media and stuff. And I've always said, I know it's not going to be something profound and prophetic that's going to put me over the edge with my social media. It's going to be something stupid that does it. And kind of had that happen today with a tweet that I sent out. And I just, again, this would be one of those things where, if I was really well prepared, I would have it, to show on the screen here, but whatever, professionalism, let's just throw that right out the window. So basically I put out this tweet where I took a photo of some stuff and I said, hey, do you have any unique or interesting Vegas souvenirs? I keep all my room keys and I have a great collection of pens. So this was, hopefully that will kind of show. I don't know if you can see it or not. No, it's going to be stupid. Yeah. There we go. You can kind of see that. Anyway, that was what I tweeted out. Just kind of said, hey, like this is what I got, some room keys and some pens. And 14 responses, 29 likes, and just looking at the impressions, 5,100 Twitter impressions. Stupid. Anyway, just goes to show I know nothing about social media because that's somehow magically managed to get out there. So anyway, I just wanted to share all of that fun stuff with you here today and jump on the old YouTubes and wish everybody a wonderful evening. It might be a few days before I'm able to get on here. I've got a little crazy kind of work schedule coming up over the next while. So yeah, it might be a while before I'm able to actually jump on and do anything with the YouTubes. The YouTubes. I sound like a 90-year-old man. Anyways, I just wanted to say all of that. Don't forget the brand new episode number 20, my conversation with my good friend Lisa Marie Smith. That is up at jeffdoesvegas.com. You can get it wherever you get podcasts, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, all over the place. You can find it there. Patrons, head over to patreon.com/jeffdoesvegas and sign up to be a patron of the show. If you sign up for the bronze level or higher, you get VIP ad-free editions of brand new episodes. If you're silver level or higher, you'll get early access to those episodes. In fact, I'm going to have episode number 21, Kill Resort Fees. That is going to be posted on Thursday. And right now, the VIP edition, ad-free edition of my chat with Lisa Marie Smith and my chat with the Timeshare Crusader, talking all about timeshares, those are up, available to bronze members at patreon.com/jeffdoesvegas. So you can get your hands on those. If you're a copper level or higher, which is $1 a month, you have access to all of the archives. Everything back, older episodes, ad-free VIP editions of those. So you may want to make sure you go and check those out. And I'm toying with the idea of doing something a little bit special where I open up the archives to everybody to give them an idea of the kind of content you'll get as a member of the Jeff Does Vegas patron program. So I'm toying with that. I might do that in a couple of weeks, but planning on maybe doing a little bit of that. So anyways, that's it for now. Have a wonderful evening or day or whenever it is you happen to be watching this. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast, jeffdoesvegas.com. And thank you so much for listening and watching here tonight. Bye.